We've had a crop failure in the garden today. Crop failure. And it happens. So let's normalize that and move on. I'm going to show you the things I'm doing to solve this problem and or what I am doing instead. In shooting the close-ups for this video, I've decided that these possibly have a virus as well as a fungus, so I'm going to go ahead and pull them. Originally, my idea was to kind of trim off everything that I could, leave a few sprouts, since I know they have a really strong root system, because as long as they've been in here, I've seen them just take off. But I think they're all coming out. The purple veins on the back of the leaves are concerning to me, where I think it's just gonna be a bigger mess. So they're coming out, and I'll show you what I'm putting in instead. I have 77 days until my average first frost date, which seems both really close and really far at the same time. I garden in Utah zone 7A. It is not a 7A that is humid. We are considered high desert and very high UV, very high altitude. So our 7A might be very, very different from your 7A if you are not high desert.
Now, before I do anything crazy to this garden bed, it's actually a raised planter. I'm going to pull out and harvest all of the beautiful tomatoes that I already have growing in this bed. Something I have loved about these dwarf plants is the fact that they are the first producers of tomatoes for me. So even though this will be my last crop of tomatoes from this set of plants, I've already had way more tomatoes than most people I know, just because they came producing vibrantly when I bought them early on in this season.
I pick everything off, even the green and blushing tomatoes, because those will still ripen inside if I end up being patient enough with them on my counter, which I might not be. Sometimes I am and sometimes I'm not. I didn't also see the purple veins. That was my plan, was to keep them, just prune off the affected, things like this where that's not healthy and not going to grow anything great. I was just going to go through and pull off and let some things keep growing. But the combo of everything together, these guys are just coming out. So I'm going to cut them at the soil line and just pull them. Here we go. I'm still debating. I hate doing this. I do have some really fun seeds that Burpee sent me this year, and I haven't had space to grow some of the things I really wanted to grow. So we're just going to take this as a sign to grow those and trial them and see what I think of those at the end of the season. And I already know I love these plants, so next year I'll grow them again. For sure. These were incredible. Ooh, there's one little tiny baby down here. Okay, I might leave that. I'm going to leave that. This one's going to stay. Why not? For the record, people on Facebook hate the sound of dripping water. And you're going to hear it because this is a garden. All right, here we go. Oh, so sad. Get this one nice and close to the soil. Rest in peace, little buddy. Rest in peace.
If you're new to gardening, you want to make sure anything that you believe might be infected with a fungus or a virus does not go in your compost pile. Just make sure that you take that on out, throw it in the garbage, let it go, just let it go.
What types of tomatoes was I growing in this bed? I'm so glad you asked, because I had on the far right Saladette, Patio Delight. And then this one I was really excited about because it's a dwarf Bush Champion slicer tomato. And these were amazing. I actually got quite a few. I'm not sure I filmed them. Hoping I did, but I've already gotten a lot of tomatoes from these plants because they were the very first tomato plants that I even planted, and they already had quite a few tomatoes on them when I picked them up at the store. And then I also have a dwarf Bush Early Girl slicer tomato. Also was excited about that because I haven't grown that one before either. The slicer tomatoes and the dwarf version I haven't grown. And then Sweetheart of the Patio, which quite honestly, I love the name. Sweetheart of the Patio, come on, that's so cute. And this one is prolific for me. I have gotten so many tomatoes off of even this plant that I've already pulled, as well as the ones that I grew last year. Good. Love this one. And I'm going to pull these out because the new plants I'm putting in here, well, I guess I have that one tomato, but the new plants aren't going to need these, and I have some climbing tomatoes that do. Maybe I'm not. Change of plans, they're going back in. Can't do it.
I think what bothered me here was the lack of height. After being so used to having the height of the obelisks, I just couldn't deal with this blank, empty wall. So I went ahead and stuck them back in.
Gardening is such a fun aesthetic and design problem for me. Problem that I like solving, that I'm going to put these back in. I like the extra height on this very blank wall. So back in they go.
And at this point, my sweet neighbor came out to tell me the great news
Good
that
morning.
she had
How are you?
An exterminator coming to take care of some of the wasps that have been nesting on
Yay!
her house and mine.
Oh, good. Did you see this one? I couldn't see it yesterday or whenever when I was trying to.
Our houses are both really, really tall, and they are such sweet, considerate neighbors, and I love chatting with her in the mornings.
Yeah, I could not see it at all. I was asking Dave about it again this morning. I was like, Anyway, that's awesome that they cover it. That's great. How lucky. Got a fungus. Yeah. You're like, it's a good 40 feet. Don't forget the tall ladder because you're going to need it for this one. No, you're totally good. No, I had to pull all of these because they got fungus, and it's like so late, and they had so much fungus that I was like, it's time. It's time for them to go. Just these dwarf ones. It's okay. I don't usually get fungus because everything's so dry. So it's kind of odd that it did. So yeah, it's fine. At least it was just these. I'd be a lot sadder if it was those. That's why I'm just going to pull them now because I don't want it to spread to those because I have so many more like fun varieties in there that I really want to see how they turn out. And these ones are fun varieties too, but I did grow some of them last year and they were so early that it was good. I did fish out some of the roots. Just the biggest clump. They were actually a lot easier than I thought to pull out, so I pulled out just a couple in one section just to see how they do. Let's talk about what we're putting in. I have a few options, and they don't go together at all, but it's what I have time to grow and what I want to try out, so we do what we want to do in the garden over here. I have 77 days until my average first frost. So I have this melon mango hybrid. No, that's not it. Hang on. I have this sweet corn. It's not going in this bed. I'm going to plant it in a different bed. But it conveniently says harvest in about 77 days. Is it way too late to be planting this? Guaranteed. But I'm going to plant a couple of them anyway. I also have Party Time Hybrid Cucumber. This one says harvest in 45 to 50 days, so we're good on that one. My melon says 80 days. We're going to try it. Why not? Live a little. And then I have a summer squash that says 55 days. So I think we're going to put a couple squashes, probably just one. I might do 2 or 3 seeds and then evict a couple. So these 3 are going in that bed. This one is going down somewhere else, in my pollinator garden actually, because it's the only space that I have any room left. All right, my cucumbers say 3 feet apart, so 12 inches is good. Yep. I know you're saying that's how I got the fungus in the first place. You're not wrong. 1 inch of fine soil. Gosh, that seems really deep. All right, these guys I'm going to trellis up the vines. So I'm going to do 2, 3, 4 in here. And I'm also planning to put 3 on the back corner. Way back here, I'm going to stick 1, 2, 3. Let's stick this one in the middle. Why not? All right, cucumbers down. Melon. To be honest, I don't grow a lot of melon, which is why I was excited when Burpee offered to send me some fun seeds to try. Melon's going to go in the middle. 3 inches apart, 1/2 inch. Okay. Oh, you know what? Melon should go on the side. Summer squash is going to go in the middle. Designing, planning. Squash, melon, squash. What is going to look the best? I don't think I can fit 2 squashes in the middle, so we're going to do squash in this square, melon in this square, and then squash in that one. And we'll see how that goes. I'm going to plant these kind of close by my trellis situation. I'm very excited to see how these do. That one inside. All right, there we go. Melon down. And the Rise and Shine. Now this is a vertical growing squash, which since I don't have a ton of land space in my vegetable garden, this was exciting to me. Bushy plants spread out about 3 feet max. One to 2 seeds, 36 inches apart. Okay, we will do 3 seeds. 1, 2, 3 seeds. And we're going to do them 24 inches apart. 1, 2, 3 seeds. Okay, I'm so excited. This is the best part, is waiting. 10 to 14 days for these guys to emerge. This is quite the forest over here, and the bees and wasps are already out. Please don't sting me. Please don't sting me. Please don't sting me. All right. Okay. Let's grow some corn. Aesthetically, this is going to be really, really random, and I'm not even reading anything on the packet. Nine inches apart, rows. Do not sow. Okay, well, sprinkle here, a sprinkle there. We are not planting this corn for production by any means. This is just for fun. I put some down here, but this bed is pretty dry, so I know it's not going to germinate. I really should put drip lines on these. This whole section of my garden does not have drip lines at all. So I hand water, and because of the scallop dirt locker system, it holds the water and lets it absorb down into my soil really well. This is my fun pollinator area. I have sacrificial tomatoes over here, which are doing the best out of any of my entire garden for the hornworm caterpillars that my kids love so much. So if we find any, they are coming down and going on this plant for the garden season to live their life or eat as much of this as they can, and then that's all we have. But unfortunately, that's the best looking plant I have so far. I'm very excited. This was a very sad day for me, and it's turned into a fun one, so thanks for being here. We'll see you soon. I always say I'm going to do this, and I never once have. Today is the day. Paint a little bit in the garden. If you're new here, my name is Natalie. I'm a professional illustrator. I mostly paint plants. This account started because my friends wanted to know about what I was planting and when and how I was growing what I grow. I grow what I grow because I like to draw plants, which is probably why the aesthetic matters to me more than the production. Because I just like to observe. I love observing everything in plants. Especially before the wasps come out. Good thing they're all 10 feet away in the pollinator garden and not over here. If you are looking for classes on how to paint flowers, I have a few of those as well. You can find them linked below. That's another thing I'm very passionate about, is drawing. Here's another secret tip for you. When you're working in your sketchbook, I always start back to front because no matter what, you're going to improve. So the paintings at the beginning of your book, which is where people generally start to look at a book, in the front always look the best. I'm left-handed, and so I also paint on the back side of pages. I paint on both sides now, but there we go. I feel like I need some gouache. This little canister is for oil paints, but I just keep water in it. It's just a nice weather-sealed container. These are my King Art brushes. Well, some of them are. This one is. I love the King Art travel brushes. You don't even have to screw them, they just pop right together. Painting a marigold in the garden today, or marigold as my sweet little girl likes to call it. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe for more garden content. Shaky hand day.